bawah para pemain Indonesia. Rizky Ridho, Muhammad Adi Satrio yang kali ini memperkuat PSIS Semarang setelah sebelumnya memperkuat Persik Kediri saat memperkuat timnas Indonesia di SEA Games 2021. Muhammad Adi Satrio memperkuat Persik Kediri. Ya, Indra Safri, Zenivio, Muhammad Fajar Fatur Rahman. Pelanggaran, memang kakinya terlalu tinggi tadi. Kita lihat pemain Timur Leste nomor punggung 6 John Frit tadi. Oh, namanya Christifau.
Ya, Christifau betul.
Muhammad Fajar Fatur Rahman, pemain yang tampil sangat baik sebagai pengganti dari James Kelly Stroyer, kini menjadi posisi inti diraihnya di tim ini di SEA Games 2023. Rizky Ridho angkat langsung ke gawang, kontrol yang baik. Kita lihat Sananta, masih Sananta terlalu memaksa. Kita lihat Bung Doni.
Ya, menarik sebenarnya melihat
Rafaela cuy.
What does he have on? He's got some merch on. What? Up front. Up front.
Watching the competition. Of course, we all know they're all friends. It's all support. Yeah. You know, they're watching. They're scouting.
This is an Raja too. Yeah, and we carried him earlier. That's right. What an honor.
I wish I was there.
Well, another time maybe. But I love this because this whole Blacklist felt like a reunion, like a homecoming. Yes. And it really has felt like that. I know we got special guests here as well. So I can't wait for this unfold. It feels like it plays through the draft. Look at this. Everybody just following my footsteps, but I don't blame you.
Gimana ini lagi main? Oh, tim ini. Belum, 2 hari lagi. Tanggal 12.
Siapa nih?
PH. Final.
Aku Blacklist ya?
Inilah MSC.
Siapa? Triyat itu tidak masuk Triyat itu?
Iran.
Gila,
baru masuk ini dia tuh. Pertengahan season. Iya, baru masuk dia tuh. H2O awalnya.
Fanny BG Fanny.
Iya, Fanny.
of himself. Gonna get the flicker out and gets the first
Wait,
blood.
Hold up. Is this the first time in forever we've seen Carl TZ rock the Brenny Sports Lancelot skin?
Oh yeah, wow. Yeah, good thing you noticed that, dude. That has to be like something to empower him, to motivate him. That this is where it all began for me.
Would that be his final form? Like, is that technically?
I am him. That's it.
Yeah.
He is declaring this match has now begun. I am. Oh,
I am me.
Yeah, and we were joking about it behind the scenes. Man, I can't believe the final form of Carl TZ might actually be Tanks-a-Lot with hybrid build.
apparently, speed of the devil.
He's grown.
More than just.
Yes.
He has grown and he has become great. Turtle already up.
Okay. Blacklist International trying to get a position here. Once again, though, Wise exactly isn't here. They might just be willing to trade it. And as they do, Carl TZ going to secure that first turtle. It looked like, you know, Wise was trying to get some pressure on that purple buff, but
Yes.
he decided to just go back anyway. It was kind of spotted out.
Yeah, tremendous read there by the members of Echo, specifically the Lolita on Yaoi. Getting the vision there for Carl TZ that Hey is here, that made Wise go back. And I believe the early death onto Oh My Venus, the lack of the level 4 there, meant that Black said, yeah, way too risky for us to lose anymore. Let's just back off.
Already, something to note, here in the XP lane, there's some action. They didn't do the double XP rotation.
Yeah, which is puzzling to me because I thought we'd be seeing that all series long. But then they decided, okay, let's just go back to basics. It's going to be a long 7-game series. I feel like this is part of just the feeling out process. But then at the same time, Rafaela in the mid roaming around, helping the mid and the jungler roam around. It's more beneficial for them.
Whoop!
Oh, there's a lot happening here. The flicker in, Nuno Blast. Owl will fall. Top side, meanwhile, in the mid lane, a little bit of poking back and forth too, but already Echo gaining the momentum in this game one.
Reptar, you talked about how Oh My Venus has parked herself in mid. That's what happens. She couldn't help Owl.
Yeah, and Ao just suffered a massive Numenon blast that made it possible because the other members of Echo were pushing back the other members of Blacklist around the middle portion of the map.
Oh.
That forced that to happen. Great call by Echo and great play.
Oh, top side though, Owl once again gonna be in trouble here. Feathered Airstrike pops the damage. Benny Cutie will get the kill. The sustain from the Holy Healing was not enough to deal with that.
So yeah, the first time around, it was just the two of them up top.
Mati lagi
Now,
solid.
they have Oh My Venus, but Sanji comes in.
Yeah, it seems like Echo are treating the XP lane as just back to what we treated it in S9. It's just gonna be a dead lane. Sure, let them clear the minion waves. They will rotate. We'll put the pressure on the gold. Owl has been monstrous this playoffs. Echo is respecting that, and they want to stop that.
Is this Echo dictating the pace, making their own meta the way that they want to? Or the Orcas swimming up against the wave that is Blacks International?
Definitely. That is what you do when you're up against the Blacklist, against your rivals.
Well, they just want to go ahead and give up the turtles here. Carl T's going to secure the second one. A lot of focus on the top side, though. Looking for a possible pick here. Blacklist International. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and charge that Nuno Blast up. Just help clear the waves. They kind of know, or at least they have a sense that something's going on here.
Yeah, when you only see Edward in the turtle pit contesting, most likely Blacklist International has 3 or 4 roaming around together. Again, that's just familiarity by Echo, knowing that Blacklist would want to get one back over Benny Cutie to help Owl cash up just a little bit.
Yep. It's basically saying,
Oh, Owl. That's what it's saying. He can't survive that. Will fall. Carl TZ jumping to the backside. Putting out the damage with the Thorn. Rose going to still go. Gets the flicker from Oh My Venus. There's the Retribution being used as well. Still the follow-up going to come out through. Real World Manipulation going to come down. Forcing it under the turret. Charges up. Finds the target. UA will fall. And Echo still in the driver's seat. Might be looking for another. Benny Cutie gets the cleanup kill. And now it's Oh My Venus and Edward. Here comes Carl TZ again. Right on through. Edward trying to salvage the situation. Has to flicker out himself, but he's stuck to. Echo dominating.
40 coming in. It's like they lived in the top lane of Blacklist for the longest time.
Chugga, 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 chugga. I hear it coming. It's the Echo Express. And this is their signature play style. Play fast, farm fast, fight early, and they are taking it straight to Blacklist International. 3 deaths already for Owl. Look at that Harith already with a Feather of Heaven and Calamity Reaper in his hands. Less than 8 minutes in.
6K ahead, almost, at about what, 5 minutes. That was the worst I've seen this game so far go for Blacks International. They have yet to get a single kill, a single objective, and I'm looking for a possible way to clap back. Are we expecting Edward to go ahead and force us to go into the late game and then get a final slash in? Because we have barreled into what is possibly the earliest late game we've ever seen.
This is once again happening here. Wise going to be quite low. One hit away. Goes down to Sanji. Carl TZ securing the 3rd turtle of the game. Now Yawi on the run here. Blacklist looking for their first kill. Will get it with a torn apart memory. But now Echo getting in position to clap back in a counter play. Sanford going to show himself. The healing's going to be there, but here comes Carl TZ going to force them back. Owl flickers out. Carl TZ trying to go in, going to get stunned with the Holy Baptism, and the turret will fall. Now here comes Edward, trying to see if he can do anything about this. He has the tankiness. Final slash going to be used. Feathered airstrike to follow him up. He's going to be taken away from the team with a split. In trouble now. Wise trying to help out. On the retreat, Blacklist goes. Benny Cutie, though, forcing them back.
Here's what's amazing about what Echo is doing. They want Blacklist to fight back. They know that if Blacklist just welcomes the fight, when they're not ready, Echo's gonna win 100% of the time. The best thing that Blacklist is doing now is just tempering their expectations.
That is the right call here by Echo, and yes, Blacklist can only temper their expectations and try to balance it out. Yawi misses.
Yawi gonna miss that, but they're still gonna be able to get a kill. Wise will fall. Still, turret being worked on. Feathered airstrike to help out. Yawi will follow. 1-for-1 trade. Blacklist, though, still has a ton of work ahead of them.
Yeah, that's a good trade for Echo. Roamer for the jungler, for the One True King as Midnight dubbed the Wise. And Echo, they can just continue this, but now at this point, this is where they start tempering their own expectations a bit. Yes, it's still roughly a 7,000 gold lead. Yes, there are still members of Blacklist catching up on items. No full build just yet for Owl. He was forced to build another item just for a little bit more magic defense on his side. That doesn't mean Blacklist can't punish. Echo, their dirty tendency of over-diving under tower, they cannot do that. Just play it safe, play around the lords, and keep it calculated.
About 5 to 6 minutes, yeah, you can play hard and fast. Maybe, as you said, dirty like that. But now, as soon as you give Blacklist more kills, fair to be said, both of them given to Yawi, given through Yawi, it should be fine. But then again, we've seen teams fall to the same mistake, having such a great lead. Free Lord for Echo as they go ahead and march through mid.
What a zone out by Sanji, by the way. Not stopping with that feather airstrike.
Yeah, Yawi gonna wait once again. The turret's gonna fall here. The pull comes through. There's the rear wood manipulation coming down. Sanford will fall. Was it worth the turret here? Lord now marching down the mid lane. We'll see if they can actually convert this into an inhibitor.
Doesn't look like it. Way too sketchy. Nope. Because of their lineup, they can't go up into this. You've got to watch out for the positioning because of the final slash. Something to be careful about. That's a good cut by Carl TZ. Stop the minion wave, and that will increase their chances of, successfully breaking the turret up top.
Yeah, so here's what I was getting at, right? First couple of kills on Yawi. Slowly but surely, if you let Blacklist continue at this pace, which they're slowly getting comfortable with, they will upgrade, they will upsell, and they got Sanford. Who's next? Are you gonna say Benny Cutie might get a death here? Maybe even Sanji? That's what Echo has to watch out for.
Yeah, Benny Cutie will really have to hold on to his Purify the best possible moment, but there's so many crucial crowd control abilities on the side of Echo that which one is he gonna hold out for? Is it really just gonna be if ever he gets final slash, if he gets taunted or whatever, knocked up by stunned, everything. So much crowd control. Benny Cutie has to really channel his inner, Benny Cutie, and just be careful with this entry as he always has been.
Relatively bum this past minute here after Blacks International successfully defended that Lord. So yeah, you can take this as a clear sign that hey, Echo has started to slow down. They went down a second gear for the Echo Express, safe to say.
Look at this. Benny Cutie already has a divine blade. 11 minutes in. This Harith is a problem. But Blacklist International, they're holding it out. They're just doing everything they can to get a little bit more farm, try to funnel whatever minion waves come in for Owl.
I'm wondering if the play here for Blacklist International is just possibly give up the next Lord, right? Not fight it because of the massive, look at the gold, right? The massive gold disparity here, right? You just give up the Lord, you defend in your base, you have pretty good wave clear. You can also help out with using that final slash. So it might just be better, like you guys mentioned, buy some more time. There's another big item pickup for Echo. So, you know, at this point, if you are Blacklist International, you want to be able to just hold on, and then if mistakes are made, which we've seen them do before, punish, right? And then kind of slowly gain control back into this game. But right now, it is the Echo Express.
Funny because Blacklist International has a relatively great high ground defense, but they are up against Harith and Afarsa. They clear minion wave so fast, and if Sanji really just waits for the perfect moment to drop that 7th airstrike, that would be 2 hits, and Blacklist members will be forced to go back.
And that's what's scary. Blacklist can't hold out for that. Not only can they, but they can even force Echo to do such, because this is going to be a Luminous Lord. But at what point is that going to hit critical mass? Because again, Lord's going to be marching down through mid this time around, and they can find a better angle. They can see. The last time there was a Lord, there were still tier 2 turrets.
Minion waves, Echo. They can't just go with one minion wave, dive under tower, dive under turret. That has bitten them many times throughout the season, and even during the playoffs. One of the main reasons why they got knocked down to the lower bracket. It's the Blacklist they're up against. Gotta watch out. Manny Beauty just picked up a concentrated energy. It's gonna be a lot of regen for this Harith. I wonder if Echo will they actually try to brute force this?
Well, here we go. Lord gonna go ahead and charge up. Blacklist International on the defense. Some more item pickups come through. Yawi dealing with the final slash from Edward. Turret now falls. Concealed play going to be used here, looking for their own angle. Carlton's going to push them back. Medicudi using the Zaman force.
Ooh.
He's going to get cut off, though, quite low. RWM going to come down. The final slash from Edward, though, cleaning up the kill. Still going to be going. Yawi going to charge up, buying some time. And now Sanji trying to hold on as well. The chase ensues. Flicker comes through. Carl TZ down the box side. Will find Edward. Still going to be going. Double kill so far. Was one a flicker, though. Sanji avoiding the Appraiser's wrath. It's a triple kill for Carl TZ.
The fight was brought all the way out towards mid, and now there's only 2 defenders left.
Now they're going to be looking to end this game number 1 here on that play. They've got a few minions, but is it going to be enough? Oh my Venus will fall, and it's the Echo Express all the way through to game 1.
The Orcas draw first blood. Game 1 taken here by Echo.
Owl has been monstrous all throughout the playoffs. Echo said, hey, you guys are up against now. Hey, Owl, it's the grand finals. Yeah, we're going to make life a living hell for you.
Man, that last team fight where you thought, you know, there might be some hope there for that defending, that was a second Lord, or was it third Lord? Second Lord? Luminous. And if they would have survived that, maybe, yeah, they would have been able to buy time. But like we mentioned, Echo Express, man, we went through it. They've been in this position before, and they don't often let go of those leads that they have.
Yeah, and it... And that's something that Echo brought up in a previous interview as well, after their victory. They said, oh, we're no longer scared to engage, we're more confident now. And you saw it there. The confidence, the lack of hesitation. And they just barreled through Blacklist International.
And I think it's that same confidence that they have to use at the right
Raihan.
understood the assignment that as Echo Express, there's at some point, the point of no return where no, we can't do Echo system anymore. Because if we do, we're playing in the Blacklist's territory. And here they ended very, very quickly. An amazing job here by our M4 World Champions. Ladies and gentlemen, we have quite a treat for you. We're going to go over to the analyst stand. Midnight's going to talk to us. He's going to tell us exactly what happened here in Game 1.
Orcas! Game 1 victory for Echo. Intense
Lanjut. Nampak mulu dari tadi bangsat. Lanjut.
Lineup from Echo.
Definitely. Very, very tough game for the Brody. And as we can see from the draft again here in the item builds, Blacklist International, they really were heavily prioritizing that mid-game power spike. That's the name of the game for them. That was their prime winning condition. But the thing is, for Echo, they've drafted a composition that can go to the late game, but also finds pretty good comfort in the mid-game. A lot of mid-game power spikes from the Lancelot, even the Harith and the Farsa, and obviously that glue oppression from Sanford that was also just seen here, not from the kill participation though, because as you can see from the teamfight participation, it was Yawi and Sanji. Mid-control is number one when you're up against Blacklist International, who's been able to snowball a lot of their early game leads into that mid-game end with Venus and Yue. Knowing that it's a Yve, they gotta try to just maximize that wave clear from the Farsa and Lolita. Good combo, plus that mobility from the Wings by Wings.
Yep, and it felt like Blacklist International were outmatched, I would say, from every aspect of the roles that they had. And Yawi and Sanji did amazing on the tank support duo, but the showing of the original prodigy, the Lancelot god of the Philippines, Carl TZ on his Lancelot. 505, and we've seen the genius of this guy, the ability, the mechanics, it's there, but also the brains, the amount of rotations that he did, he was able to punish the gold lane of Blacklist International. There were no answers from the rotation that Echo did, and it felt like that was a key moment where they shut down the main timings of Blacklist.
I think during the team study that I had and a lot of the M forecasters had, Leo said, for Carl TZ, he's a mature jungler now, right? I mean, we've seen him at M2, crazy mechanics, but at M4, and since he's joined Echo, he's really taken this, I would say, kind of utility role really well. Seeing him back on an assassin that also plays utility feels like it is a mix made in heaven, and you can see it here from the first minute all the way to the 10th minute. He's active all across the board.
Everywhere for Echo.
The prio is everywhere.
Yeah. The thing is, this is not even full hybrid Lancelot. You went for kind of like the new version of the attack Lancelot, where Enoch was actually showing it his last match. It was sort of a damage dealer on the early game that scales well with the HP because of the Guardian helmet, and of course the Radiant armor buildup was very, very nice. If he ever runs out of puncture, he's not gonna mind the damage of Yue on the Eve. He's always gonna be able to move away from the reload manipulation. But the story of this game was just Echo, I would say, grouping up much earlier against Blacklist International. The Ubik composition did not really work out for Blacklist as Echo devoured the early game timings that they've had. And when you shut down heroes like this, Fredrin, Brody, and Rafaela, it's like having a hard recovery curve for Blacklist International. It's hard for you to do that because look at the heroes of Echo. How do you fight into a Harith with a Purify?
It's almost impossible to come back if you lose that lead early on, especially when you give a massive lead to Echo in that mid-game with their composition that builds around that mid-game power spike. And as you can see from these team fights, again, it really feels like the draft were the proper foundations for them to be able to make these plays happen, because even for Blacklist International, what they succeed at with this draft is most probably the team fights that stay in one place. That mobility from Echo that we mentioned, from the Harith, from the Feather Airstrike and the Wings by Wings as well, and obviously the puncture from Carl TZ enabled them to escape, to just buy some time, distract, and come back with a re-engage.
Yeah, Echo again checked a lot of boxes here against Blacklist, and I think one of the most fundamental problems with Echo's strategy is that they don't have endgame. But this time around, they did have the Harith. The ability to take down towers was there. Although he did die on the last few fights, it didn't matter because it was already a team fight victory for Echo. And again, Blacklist International had no response against the mobility of the team fight on the side of the Orcas. It was an amazing game. Game number one, just game number one for Echo. We might see more adjustments coming out from Blacklist, but
I want to ask you, what do you think is the most important recipe here for Echo as to how they won game number 1?
Keep it chaotic. I think that's the number one thing they should do. Not in the team fights, but in the early game build up to that mid game. Because as long as it's chaotic, a systematic team like Blacklist International can be caught a few times.
Well, let's see if the chaos can keep up on game number 2, or will Blacklist International keep it together for their side? Because again, this is the grand finals. This is a best of 7 match. However, adjustments will be coming forward. And speaking of adjustments, let's look at the keys to victory that our panelists brought together earlier on. Now, there are adjustments that are needed to be made, but Echo did check one of their keys to victory. You know, if you get a momentum, you win the game. You just do it. You constantly do it. And I actually had a conversation with Yawi earlier. He said that they're more prepared now compared to season 10, because right now they're not scared of making any mistake.
I think that's the thing right now. The confidence, the mentality coming into this matchup. Sure, they did just play a lower bracket match, so it can be a double-edged sword. Again, they had to, come out with a lot of those strategies and reveal a lot of those strategies. But Echo, it seems like when they have the momentum, last time, they weren't just able to break it, they were able to shatter
Uy.
the code. We'll see if they can do it again right here.
It's shaping up to be a great series here for the Orcas and the Agents. Before we head on to game number 2, I want to hear more on the side of Blacklist International. Agents, cheer for your team. Okay, let's do it one more time. Agents! Okay, they're kind of wrapping up, okay? Echo,
that's
they
fine.
have momentum.
They just won game number 1, so when I say Echo loud, you say?
There you go.
Let's do it one more time. Echo loud!
The energy is there, and we are going to be hearing more from the audience as we head on over to Marrakino.
Nagbabalik sa Pilipinas ang mga manlalaro ng Onyx. Nandito si Marky, Dilar, Kyrie, Baloyski, and Coach Shep. Hi guys! Uy! Kumpleto. 5 players. Kulang ng isa. Kulang ng isa. Hey guys! Si Kyrie finally graced us. Hoy, champion! Congratulations!
Thank you po.
Okay, gaano nyo namimiss maglaro ngayong playoffs ngayon dito sa Pilipinas?
Sobrang namimiss, lalo ngayon sobrang init ng playoffs eh.
Sobrang init. Sinong mas mainit ngayon? Echo, Blacklist.
Pareho match.
Pero bakit
Pero Blacklist ako eh.
Bakit Blacklist. Bakit Blacklist?
Kasi tropa ko si Edward.
Tropa si Edward. Kayo, how much do you miss playing? Hindi nyo ba namimiss to be on the stage?
Sobrang namimiss. Di ako nakapaglaro ng arang season.
Ano sinabi si Kyrie? Bakit di daw siya nakapaglaro dahil?
Inuuna mo kasi commercial eh.
Inuuna nyo. Oy, kung di nyo alam, superstar to.
Pasalamat siya, di ako naglaro eh. Ako sana yung problema nila sa finals.
Ikaw, Marky, how much do you miss playing?
Namiss ko na po kasi ang hirap po mag-shot call eh, pagkabasa po.
Mahirap mag-shot ko pag
Kaya
bahasa.
gusto ko na po bumalik sa Pinas para easy na lang yung pag-shot call.
Sino ba yung pinaka-maingay, Baloyski, nung naglalaro kayo dati? Pag nasa com, sino yung loudest, ang pinaka-makulit?
Kung ingay lang po, si Dilar.
Si Dilar!
Yung ingay po. Hindi, pero sa macro, ako po, tas si Marky, tas si Kaya.
O so basically, lahat namin name mo eh. So lahat kayo maingay.
Apo.
O sige nga, truthfully, Coach Sheb, Kyrie, amongst the two teams, who do you think will give you a harder time sa MSC? Kasi kami, feeling namin syempre other than the Filipino team, you guys are gonna give us a hard time. Who do you think is gonna give you a headache?
Tingin ko po pareho lang eh, kasi pareho lang tiyatalo kami palagi.
Ang safe niya sumagot. Coach
Play
Sheb,
safe
what
pa, play
about
safe
you? Who's gonna give you a headache?
Pareho lang din talaga, pero medyo pareho ng playstyle namin si Echo.
Pareho ng playstyle si Echo. Sige nga, para hindi bias, sino sa tingin mo will give Indonesia a harder time, ang Onyx Philippines? Onyx Indonesia!
Parehas din po sagot ko. Parehas din po.
Parehas?
Apo.
Sa akin parehas lang kasi palagi naman Pinas yung nananalo sa international tournament.
Uy, kasali ka daw.
Kasali pala ako doon. Bigos pala ako. Mali, wrong send.
Okay, who will give you a harder time between the two teams?
Sino ba?
Hindi ko alam sa kakampi ko, hindi naman kasi, hindi ko alam kung maglalaro ko sa ano, Ibos eh. Hindi ko alam sa akin.
Parang inamin niya.
Pero tingin ka ano,
Na Pilipinas
tingin ko
mananalo.
Blacklist, consistent sila sa international tournament eh.
Consistency ng Blacklist.
Tsaka lagi akong talo sa kanila eh.
Who do you think will give them a harder time sa MSC?
Paras din po talaga.
My gosh, mga
Paras
safe!
po. Hindi po, totoo po. Hindi po sa safe. Sobrang pares po kasi galing eh. Solid. Kaya pares kaming parehas talaga.
Alam mo, alam ko wala na kayo sa Philippines, pero guys, pwede ba, for old time's sake, what time is it?
It's Onyx time.
Okay, Kyrie, ikaw naman. Paputunan natin sa casters. Kaya gawin mo yung ginagawa ko na casters, pasok.
Casters, pasok.
I woke up today and pleasantly surprised. I didn't expect to be thrown over by Kyrie.
Yeah, what an honor. Do they still call him the Sky King? They do, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Raja Langit.
Raja Langit. Oh, perfect.
That's what they call him. Folks, before we get on with the match, enjoy the power of Smart when you switch to Smart without changing your number via mobile number portability or MNP. Visit smart.ph/switch to Smart to know more. Back into the action once more for those of you who aren't in the know. The folks that Maro were talking to were Onyx PH alumni, who themselves had quite the rivalry with Blacklist International. So that's what puts this all in a context.
Together, basically. And that's why I'm saying it's so cool, you know, because, again, it feels like, in a way, a homecoming, a reunion, and just to see them all sitting together in a row and then talking about, you know, their experiences even, it's amazing. And at the same time, I can't wait to see that kind of matchup in, like, a different, it's almost like a different timeline, right, where Onyx Esports is now going to be playing against, eventually, Blacklist International, right, in the MSC 2023 tournament. So what if, like, you know, how many times we've seen those organizations go head-to-head, but now it's like it's different representation in a way, right? But Yeb is still there, Kyrie's still there. So that's something to really look forward to, I feel like, in MSC, especially everything else that's coming through, especially with the addition of the 3 other countries that will be participating in that as well.
Yeah, and you gotta boggle my memory here, but we didn't see Blacklist versus Onyx Esports in M4, did we? We didn't.
Even throughout the knockout stage, yeah.
We didn't. So that'll be one of our wish lists for MSC.
There it is.
See Blacklist International versus Onyx Esports.
Hell, even Onyx versus Echo, I'm not so sure.
No, it's not Onyx versus Echo. It was Echo that Kyrie did that Hayabusa play.
Yeah, that's right.
They found Benny. All right.
Yeah, they found Benny.
That's the one.
Yeah,
that's the one.
How could we forget?
All right. See, because again, multiple timelines, different personalities coming in, crashing through. The memories are overflowing, and I'm just doing my best here to keep it all under control because we are just at the beginning. We are at but the precipice of this best of 7. All right? So, with that being said, folks, you know the drill. We ran throughout the whole regular season with this, and there's no way we're going to let it go tonight for Championship Sunday.
It's the last time.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the last.
I'm getting emotional.
Technically, it is. It's the last day,
It's
right?
time for Smart Game Face of the Day. Team SMX, y'all know the drill. We've been laying down the rules for y'all months at a time now. All you got to do, flash the hashtag PowerSmart on your devices, use a green background just to make sure. And when you get it put on ya, put on that face.
Oh.
You get that redeemable in-game code. Ask Mommy Doris from Echo.
The Echo Cheer Master coming up with some of the iconic Echo cheers. Some of it's still in workshop mode.
Yeah.
But we
They're
heard
working
it.
through it. They're working through
I was
it.
gonna
And I
say.
love it already. Take it out of beta. Release it. Publish it.
Yeah, some of them made a debut at playoffs.
Yeah.
I feel like by the time we get to maybe for MSC, and like depending on how many orcas, you know, fly out and go there, but by season 12, they have like a playlist of Echo cheers. Led.
Soon enough, you're going to see it on your favorite music streaming apps.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact, I was thinking the exact same thing.
That you
I
can
would.
listen, you know, listen to while you're working out, maybe.
I would. Get me pumped up.
There it is.
Lakas ng Pinas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, back into the game here. Drafting phase onto us. Folks, Blacklist chose to go blue this time around as they ban out the Franco and the Kaja. Echo goes ahead and, despite switching sides, goes ahead and continues to ban out the Estes and the Joy.
Yeah. I was actually thinking that Echo might be a little bit more confident with playing against the Estes this time around and ban the Faramis instead. And then, for sure, I think Echo is going to be taking out the 1-1, most likely. However, the Estes ban, I believe, so warranted because of the performance of All My Venus, not the regular season, but in this playoffs, with, I don't know what happened. It seems like they remembered again how to dominate with an Estes pick, and they did exactly that multiple times. Blacklist International, great ban here on the Lancelot after the game that Carl Teasy had. Of course, Echo will ban out here the 1-1. So, will this be, again, Fredrin, Clue, Valentina, and Arlott all still available here, and it's going to be the Clue as the first pick. Fredrin is open now for Echo. I'd want to see them take away the Valentina, but I wouldn't be surprised if they actually decide to take out the Eve by picking it up themselves, just so that it doesn't go into the hands of you.
Solid. Good calls there. Again, you know, we've been watching these two teams battle it out for months now. And although we've seen some different, I would say, I don't know if some people want to call them cheese strat, pocket strategies, but they've been pulled out. But more or less, this is kind of what you expect too, right? Blacklist International, if the Faramis is going to be open, there it is. It's locked in, paired with the Farsa here.
I was going to say, instead of stealing away the Faramis, they steal away the Eve and then just let Blacklist go roughshod, whatever. MTB, Coach Dex, you can do whatever you want. And they give over this mid-lane duo. So at least now, despite Blacklist getting their hands on what they actually want, Echo now know what that mid-lane duo is.
Exactly. And they can go for a gold lane pickup here, or they can use this slot for a surprise pick if they want to go into the second phase so that they can target the pick of Al freely. But no, they decide we need to go for surprises. Let's go for comfort. They pick up the Lapu-Lapu, and of course you're going to take out the Claude in this scenario. The Claude with the rest of the lineup of Blacklist just gels so well, considering the Echo has the E, they don't want to go up against that. Now, will they take out a Moskov? Will they take out a Beatrix on the side away from Blacklist International?
The design is very M4.
Yeah.
Looking at that first phase for Echo, the design is very M4.
Yeah, it is. You know, especially with the fact that you've got the Lapu-Lapu there. Anytime, you know, Sanford gets his hands on this, I think that's what people have is flashbacks of M4, man.
Yeah.
You know, because of the just the way that he plays this hero alone. So already, you know, final bans coming out here for the second phase. That was the Akai being taken out here as the jungle options kind of get whittled down a little bit. But that's what I'm wondering too, you know. Do we see Wise kind of go back to those pocket picks of himself? We have previously seen even the Baksha pop up worked really well for them, especially the way they like to change that play style from game to game. But right now, the Lolita is that last ban, and the response for the first pick of the second phase from Echo is the Beatrix.
Okay, so Blacklist International might avoid or will try as much as possible to pick a marksman that would want to pick up, or that can pick up a Purify rather, because the Yaoi pickup here might be a big one. With all these heroes gone, Franco, Kaja, Kufra, Lolita, Haka Yaoi, the Cho is still available for him if he wants to. So Blacklist picks here will determine if you can pick that up, as Baksha and Carry are the pickups here for Blacklist. Cho, Atlas, traditional tanks, if they want to go down that route, is available for Echo.
And again, if it's the Atlas, it skews the battle spell choices. Expect to see a Purify. And when that happens, at some point it's a crapshoot. Hey look, some old friends. It's Cap, it's Coach, it's Hito, and it's the GOAT, who just recently, actually on social media, passed the torch. People called Carl the GOAT.
The passing, I was gonna say the passing of the GOAT, but I guess I don't know. The passing of the GOAT torch.
Works out for me.
Does that work?
Man.
I'm pretty sure the passing of a GOAT is like, what do you call that? A traditional marriage
somewhere.
Yeah.
Thing
somewhere in the
do.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah, GOAT is common pasture. Last pick up here for Echo. That's the Yaoi pick. It's the Grok.
Yeah. They pick up the Grok, of course. They just wanted access onto the Farsa. They need that center. So and it seems like they're not confident to play the Cho or an Atlas in that scenario because of one of the options that you mentioned to consider. The skewing of the battle spells, Purifies might be forced out here. So Grok instead seems to be the safer pick and choice for Echo.
Can I just ask, why have we not seen Atlas pop up?
As often.
At all? Like, has he popped up at all in the playoffs?
Once in the Echo RSG matchup earlier today.
Okay, so
Just
like
once.
You know, that's
Just
surprising. Because it just seems like a good option, but I guess, you know, maybe he's not so great in the meta right now.
Yeah, no, again, the fact that he skews the way you engage, and I don't know, it might be too honest. That's the problem earlier. It was too honest, and teams just had an answer. Going into game 2, this time around, look at this. The double XP lane start from Blacklist is back.
There it is. We were looking for it earlier. Smart adjustment here for Blacklist. It'll delay Sanford, make Edward be more present throughout the map. Oh My Venus gets the middle minion wave to hit number 2. And again, because of the XP lane siege minion, that's how you get quick level 2s across these 3 members of Blacklist and those positions that you see right now.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's, already Sanji's going to have to burn that flicker early on. So already a minor win here for Blacklist International, but nothing, you know, nothing crazy just yet.
They're not letting Echo's main artery breathe. They feigned the XP pressure and then like, nope, Sanji, Yaoi, you'll watch yourselves.
Yeah, Blacklist, with how aggressive they're going around the map, the rotational speed of one Baksha, Blacklist can play like how Echo played earlier. Play fast, play aggressive. And it seems like with the rotations of UNO My Venus, yeah, they understand, okay, we can build up, speed up Owl. This carry is a comfort, and at this point, a signature pick for the gold laner of Blacklist.
I like it. And right now, all this leading up into the first turtle of the game here. They can find any advantage, right? But mostly looking for those level 4s. Definitely going to want to contest this one compared to what we saw in the previous game, right? Where Blacklist just kind of gave those up. So already they're going to go and clash it out. Into the river they go. Quite low is Sanford. And he will fall. First blood being drawn by Blacklist International. And now Turtle also for the taking here. But Carl Tizzy and Yaoi still in the zone. Edward going to use the split, gets the Appraiser's Wrath out as well. They're a little bit outnumbered. Here they come. Feathered Airstrike used as well. And Carl Tizzy will fall. Sanji unleashing on Edward with the real world manipulation. Can't dodge it enough. He's still alive for a little bit longer. Sanji on the run. Edward, though, still trying to get away. Yaoi had to use the flicker. And Sanji grabs the killing blow.
Turtle's still withstanding. And the thing is, Agent Zero, yeah, he was going to die anyway, so minor win for Blacklist. They bought time there.
I love what Sanford did there. He really waited and held on to the Bravest Fighter activations because he was waiting for the immunity that the Faramis ult gives a team if it's expended way too early. Once that was gone, he was able to deal the damage and get a crucial kill there for Echo, but Blacklist played that so well also.
Well, now they're going to go for it again. Turtle going to reset. Still no one claiming the first one of the game. Just showing how much objective focus they're going to be here. Who grabs it? It's Carl Tizzy securing the turtle. Blacklist International still wants to fight. Edward going to bring Carl Tizzy back here. The damage is there. He will fall. Sanford going to jump in. Wise quite low. 40 goes. He gets Yue. Now Wise on the run here. Sanford still up. 2 versus 1. Split going to be used here. He will get whittled down. He falls. Wise gets taken down with the auto attack. Sanji with another kill.
It's weird. Our most peaceful lane is the gold lane. They live in an island.
Opposite of what happened earlier in game number 1. I like the decision making of these two teams, knowing that, okay, they can fight in certain scenarios. It'll be worse if we actually don't fight and just back off. It's not that it's messy, it's just calculated how these two teams are fighting right now early on in this game number 2. Sanji with an Ice Queen wand should help with the speed that Blacklist International has and the mobility that they have in fights, especially up against Wise's Baksha, who's trying to look for Benny Cutie.
Yeah, he's going to find the stun on Benny Cutie, but should be fine. Yaoi there, thankfully for him as well. So, results into nothing, but like you guys mentioned, little cheeky stop there from Benny Cutie.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? We mentioned how Golden is relatively peaceful. Echo and Blacklist say, you know what? Let's bring the party over there. Turtle is spawning, so expect that in the next 30 seconds to a minute, that's where things are going to get rowdy. What can we expect from this XP lane duel? Because look, Sanford in the first 5 minutes of this game has been instrumental, has been super important in Echo clapping back, regaining this lead. And, oh, caught easy! Grand Theft Orange!
Yeah, he's going to just take that away.
Steal.
Anytime he can, he's going to do it.
My buff.
Carl Teasy gets it, and that'll help the tempering of the rotational speed of Wise's box shot. But again, it's still a very close game. Even without an orange buff, it's not a massive loss. He's not dependent on it, but it is still a very small win regardless. They still have to watch out for the objective. Wise.
Wise going to come crashing in. They get the flicker out from Sanji. Still going to be fighting for the turtle here. Conceal play going to be used. Yawi charges in with a wild charge. The damage isn't enough. Colt Alter going to come down, still fighting for it. Going to be cut off with the Guardian's barrier, and Wise will fall. Turtle secured by Echo.
The Guardian's barrier, perfect placement there by Yawi, because it looked bad for Echo because the Queen held on to her Cult Altar for so long, maximizing the hell out of that, but one Guardian's barrier was enough. Blacklist could not have dodged into it, and after that turtle wins for Echo across the map. Mid lane and top lane, outer turrets are down for Blacklist.
Engagement could come out of nowhere here. Echo can force the issue. They're about 2K ahead, 6 minutes in. So far, there was a little bit of speed bump going into game 2, but no, Echo, if I'm not mistaken, is still going off of Echo Express. They've taken their momentum from game 1. Despite Blacklist readjusting to their speed, they might have gotten gassed here. They might have been caught out of their breath.
Echo, how they're playing right now, despite Blacklist taking it to them, and Blacklist are making the right calls with taking the fight to Echo, just trying to outmaneuver them, beat them, outclass them. And Echo are the ones who are doing that in the most recent sequences that we've seen in the game. 2.5k gold lead, not that difficult to get past. They just need to watch out and wait for some key abilities outside from Echo and then engage.
Yeah, that's the thing too, right? With this lineup that Blacklist International has, you are able to be very mobile, move around the map, play to the objective, but Owl going to be in trouble. Once again, the flicker comes out. We've seen Sanford do it before. He did it again. There's the wild charge from Yawi. Benny Cutie going to follow up. Oh my Venus will fall in the jungle. Echo furthering the Express down the tracks.
They're just pushing the advantage here. They know. Renmar, was it just a minute ago you said it was 2.5k? Nothing to worry about? It's ballooning to 4!
Yeah, and now you gotta worry if you're Blacklist International, because this means Echo can just continue to freely play aggressive in your own jungle, but Wise will try to look for Sanji.
Wise gonna find Sanji, gets the flicker down. Oh my Venus though, quite low, has to use the Colt Altar. There goes Sanford, jumping in with the bravest fighter, will find the Queen. She falls, and now this is the green light for Echo to take the Lord.
Wow.
Turtle.
Echo. Lord Turtle.
Lord Turtle.
He has a title.
It's that quick, man. That's how fast this game has gone. You could have sworn it was a Lord.
Oh no, Owl! Looks like it's gonna be another possible quick game here. Echo pressing on the gas.
Oh, King Wise caught here in an Echo sandwich. Find Sanji again.
They're gonna find Sanji. There they go with wild charge. Can they follow up on the kills here? Sanji does fall, but Sanford once again proving massive. Benny Cutie will get another kill. The chase for Wise. UA there to help him out. Wise quite tanky enough, but Carl Teasy now joining the fight, gets the taunt off. Benny Cutie getting the shots with Renner. There's the Appraiser's Wrath, and it'll be a mega kill for Benny Cutie.
Oh dear Lord, you see how potent that shotgun is? Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen a Wesker do work, but Owl felt that.
Actually, it's something Benny Cutie likes to do. I even noticed that starting at M4, in certain moments, he does favor that shotgun just to get that sure kill. And that was a nice switch up. Great call by Benny Cutie to switch up the guns there. Malefic Roar is the item he has, and no wonder the damage coming out of that Bader in the lead. Owl still struggling, just picked up the golden staff though. But the rest of Blacklist needs to catch up in terms of items. Look at the difference between the two mid laners. Only a Clock of Destiny there for Yue. The damage on this Farsa, you'll barely feel it at this point. But look at the items on Sanji already onto the glowing wand. You know, favorite item of the Eve.
And the thing about the Eve here this time around is it's been a prime target for Blacklist International. Weirdly enough, it's Wise who's actually given this task. But the fact is, Sanji can just keep counting on his flicker, and so far, it's worked.
Yeah, he's been great with the flicker, even the last game, and proving here as well. Benny Cutie able to pick up the Haas Claws, gonna extend his already phenomenal gameplay and positioning on this Beatrix.
Hasklos was Wesker, imagine that.
Yeah.
It's like he has a cult altar of his own. Man, that Beatrix really needs to be spotted out by Blacklist, but how can they? Seems like it might get to the point where if Blacklist can extend the team fight long enough so that it's Benny Cutie left alone or with just another member of Echo, that's how they'll try to get to him. Man, Echo and their Echo Express just acknowledging their power spikes. Knowing that after a key victory, certain point in the game, after that turtle, they made the right calls, pushed top, pushed mid, and then they just continued it. And now a comeback by Blacklist looks extremely difficult. Man, they're circling their prey, much like the killer whales that they are. The school of orcas are outside the base of Blacks International, the base of the agents. Oh man, you can hear it. It's so real, you can hear it.
You can hear it from Renmar right now. Conceal play gonna be used. Gonna go in, finds targets. No stun gonna be there. Immortality will come down. Lord still being up here. They have to deal with this. They will lose the inhibitor turrets. Bottom, mid. Top lane stands. Echo, do they want to go for more? Sanford gonna jump in with the bravest fighter. The flicker comes in. Chasing for Owl. Will find him before he falls himself. And they're happy with it. Edward trying to buy some time, but Benny Cutie unleashing the damage. And oh my Venus will go down. Now Edward gonna be the next target. Benny Cutie is unstoppable. Echo looking to end game 2 here. UA in trouble. Will heal back up. It's Wise defending the crystal. Echo a couple hits away and they do it. They take game 2.
Shades of M4. I hate to say it, folks, but this is exactly how we felt. Calling that match in Sinayan Tennis Indoor. Echo is at 2-0 in this best of 7. World Championship form for the reigning world champions. It's only 2 games. It's the best of 7.
Robos pertahanan Indonesia, Bung Doni.
Ya.
Against your rivals in dominating fashion. Folks, another revelation. This is how ready Echo is. This is the furthest any team in the Season 11 playoffs has taken Blacks International. Every single series they've played so far, opponents have only gotten 1 game. This is as far as it gets.
And not only that, but you gotta say, it was dominating both games. You know, it was literally the Echo Express, and they never let up. And Blacklist International for both games now could not find the answers they were looking for in either of those games to really turn the tides. And so what is the answer there? You know, as they get prepped up, as we look towards game 3 ahead of us before all this.
You know, going back again to what we just witnessed, especially that game number 2, because of how Echo are playing, Blacklist confident in their own team fighting abilities, which they should be. One of the reasons why Echo got a massive win after that turtle, getting down the mid turret and the top turret, is because Blacklist weren't managing their minion waves as well as they could have. So Blacklist International, before they go into a fight against Echo, need to really watch their minion wave management. Because if they lose that fight, and Echo were managing the minion waves much better, Echo will get a massive win out of it.
And how Echo did that is actually very, very meticulously. Unlike a Baksha, the Fredrin has to actually, with a lot of swag, walk towards these major objectives and these rotations. That's Echo outplaying Blacklist or out-macroing them on another level because of the fact that they force them to not pay attention to these waves.
Yeah, it's insane how it worked. And again, there was a point in time where there was 3 levels on Wise, and that just kind of paints the picture.
It's difficult. We'll throw it over to the Mini duo at the analyst stand to break down game number 2. It's your turn, fellas. Talk to us.
Seems like Echo is finding their groove and finding their momentum against Blacklist International as they secured 2-0 lead versus Blacklist. Mirko, this is quite familiar for you. You know, this is the rematch between Blacklist and Echo in M4, which is sad because you don't have your team there.
Hey man, okay, stop right there.
ini untuk MST udah sampai guys. Alhamdulillah. Effort goods. Oh, magnet ya. Makan. Start sini guys. Oke lah ya. For Air Force. Kilucu. Kilucu. Kece badai. Kece badai.
He literally closed down Yahweh's food hub against Blacklist International and did not give any form of free farm towards the gold later.
Definitely no farm at all. So
Air Force
much space
roar.
given as well because of the
Tinggal beli baju Air Force nya cuy. Tunggu gajian ya.
amazing walls throughout. A lot of people take advantage of the wild charge, the power of nature, but that barrier for Yawi, it's another CC/zoning ability that
Kalau
he
timnas
utilizes
kita beli bandana aja nanti
in
guys.
these team fights. I think a couple of times Blacklist International were completely zoned out from the Lord pit actually because of a well-placed wall. We've seen this throughout the regular season, and we also mentioned it earlier when it was the last
Harusnya udah mudah pecah sih ini.
we were thinking, maybe they need some more AoE CC, something like an Atlas, but hey, that can be purified. The Grok, a bit too instant to be purified.
Yeah, even if it's purified, the positioning is there for Echo. And I love the start that Echo managed to pull off. Again, with the minion thing that Yawi did, it felt like he found the ingredient against his strategy. You don't fight Blacklist, you fight the minions. You control the resources that Blacklist gets. And even if Blacklist gets to the turtle first, you try to contest it as much as you can. Because the thing about Echo's lineup is that their scaling, it's linear. They're still strong at mid-game. Even if we give up some kills in the start, as long as Blacklist does not get a turtle for free, they're going to be able to get that power spike even much faster compared to what Blacklist is supposed to do. Like, say, you can imagine Blacklist wrapping up towards the late game,
Keren
but you also
banget.
have to go towards where Echo is really strong in the mid game. So it's kind of like creating an idea of resources as Wise is used to doing. Echo took that personally and made a macro decision. Hey, let's not be passive here. Let's try to fight against Black International so that we stop any form of momentum that we can get. And when they were able to get the resources up on Benecuti, that's where things started to go out of control for Blacklist International. Every lane was visited by the Orcans.
Why that can happen is honestly, again, from the mid-control that Echo will not let go. Blacklist International, they came up with a few new adjustments here in game number 2 with the drafts coming in. They already picked up a Farsa, a lot of mid-control with the Faramis into the roam, and even the Baksha. So they have a lot of mobility that they didn't have in game number 1. But Echo, they're always a step ahead, right? They pick up the Yi, but they go for another dynamic here with Grok in the mid lane. Again, easily clearing out waves, and obviously that barrier can stop the mid waves from coming down, and it automatically just builds up to Echo's push in the end. For Blacklist International as well, you can really see here from the teamfight participation, it feels like Owl is a bit too passive this game. We mentioned that maybe it's because of the matchups that we've given him so many times, but I think for the sake of it, right, Sanford is your MVP for game number 2.
Relive the moment where Sanford brought chaos to Indonesia. Now he's bringing chaos towards Blacklist International. Again, you mentioned the presence of the Lapu-Lapu. That final kill onto the carry, albeit some might say it's a little bit unnecessary, but it adds the style points for Echo. And you know what? That's what Echo is known for. The style of the kills that they make, the ability to find kills where nobody could find it. And Sanford seems to have this constant ability to make kills happen for the squad. And it feels like the shutdown came from this man alone. Like, we saw a team fight in the mid lane where Blacklist International grouped up. They were able to take one kill on Echo. But Sanford was like, hey, I remember this moment. I'm always at this moment. I see 4 heroes, I jump. I take 2 heroes, and suddenly it's the end of the game.
As someone once said, right, he knows exactly what to do, and in that particular situation, he did as well. I think it's completely necessary, honestly. Looking at it, getting the carry down in a high ground defense, but all throughout the game, you could see the adjustments made by Blacklist International. This wasn't the same game, though it was the same outcome. Blacklist International made a few of the right adjustments, but it's a bit too steady and it's a bit too slow.
Yeah.
They got the early game, but in the mid game, they still were actually just brought into that chaos that Echo constantly pushes onto you.
They did a fantastic job on holding Echo before they get to that point where momentum is just on their side. Yue was doing a fantastic job on the far side, but again, as you mentioned, it feels like there is a certain aspect or department on the side of Blacklist that is severely lacking. It is the presence of the gold laner. Maybe because it's because of the matchup between the Beatrix and the carry. That's why I feel like Echo is prioritizing this aggressive gold laners like the Harriets, the Lunox, even the Minstars, because they figured out that late game, yes, it's a thing that you need to contest the carry and Claude matchup, but Echo synergizes with this pretty well. Like the Beatrix, again, we discussed it earlier when Benecuting was able to get his items by minute 8. Echo was everywhere. They were all over the map, and Blacklist International, they were trying to find more resources.
Guys, nanti kita live-nya di game terakhir ya. Nanti itu nah ini pasti 2-0 kan. Eko 2-3-0, Eko 4-0 kan. Kita live nanti game terakhir ya. Kalau itu biar nggak terlalu panjang ini live-nya. Oke, thank you. Oke guys ya, aman ya.
This is game number 2 for Echo, a victory for the Orcas. Now, I've learned this on Twitter, so let us ramp up the energy of the agents. Blacklist! There you go, one more time. Blacklist! Hey, how about the other side?
Hey, all right, let's try it. Ladies and gentlemen, Echo Loud! Echo Loud!
Cool. Let's see if
Pemain timur.
That's what people have is find the stun on Benny Cutie, but should be fine. Yeah, this is the group.
Robos pertahanan.
But hey, the agents always make amazing comebacks in a very long series. Again, this is a best of 7 match. Adjustments could still come a long way for Blacklist. But before anything else, let's head on over to our courtside. Odin, take us away.
Hi everyone! Magandang gabi! Dahil dyan buhay na buhay pa mga agents! Mag-ingay! Hi everyone! This is your very own Odin at kasama ko ngayon ang buff ng Blacklist International. Walang iba kundi si Coach Bon Chan, si OHEP,